Hi everyone, so today I am going to especially for this situation we have learned some rules. If I memorize these things, first we have learned if we are given a polynomial function, how we can find the derivative. Then if we are given a summation of two functions, how we can find the derivative. Then using the product rule we can find the derivative of product of two functions, and after that we can find the derivative of uh, ratio between two functions by using quotient rule, and sometimes by using the changing of the variable we can find the derivative of some complex functions. For that we learn chain rule and power rule. So today I'm not going to discuss about a new thing, especially I'm going to discuss about how to solve some complex problem by using our previous knowledge. So actually, when you are working in your day-to-day life, no one come to teach you. Use the product rule and chain rule for this one. Sometimes use power rule for this one. Actually, you have to think by your own intuition. For to develop your intuition, it is better to solve some problems. Actually, when you are working in your day-to-day life, you have to work with some complex problem. That is why I am discussing about such problems. Okay, now let's look at our section 9.7. It is using derivative formulas. So first let's look at this problem. So here at the first glance, you can say anything about how we can start. So for this one, actually first you have to make a substitution for this one as u. Then you can write this one as u to the power 5. Now try to find the derivative. So I think you have to use a product rule, a chain rule and power rule combination. So this is your u. So first you have to use chain rule. Take the derivative of du over dx. So by using power rule. By using power rule you can find this is u5 over dx is equal to this term. Then here we have used power rule. So after that you have to find du over dx. To find this one you have to use product rule. So at the end this one becomes your final answer. And now let's look at this problem. For this one, how we can start. So if you look at very cautiously, you can see this y is a product of two functions. So take this as your u and this function as your v. So this is a product of two functions. Which rule do you need to use? You have to use product rule. So two functions are these two. Then here we have used product rule. Then take the derivative of v. So it is v prime and it is this value, and then take the derivative of u, it is u prime. So for this one again you have to use power rule, because this is some big power for polynomial. Then this is your final answer, but when you are writing in the exams or homeworks, please simplify as possible as you can. So you can take x square plus 1 as a common factor, then this one become your final answer. So you can see for such situations you have to use few rules together. Yeah, it is a combination, so you have to think everything by your own intuition. So now let's look at this problem. So at the first glance you can see it is a ratio between two functions. So for this one you have to use quotient rule. But the problem is each part, numerator and denominator have some big powers. So I guess you have to use power rule also, as because of these two powers. So this is a combination of power rule and quotient rule together. So first make your setup. So first I will give names for these functions. This is my u and this is my v. So by using quotient rule you can obtain this one, v times u prime minus u times v prime. We have learned these things, and divide by square of v. Then find the derivative of each terms. To find the derivative of u, you have to use the power rule for this one, and for this one to find the derivative of v also you have to use power rule. So this is a big expression, then you have to simplify by yourself. So this is the final answer. Actually here you learn by intuition how we can use the suitable rule and how we can simplify a given expression by using factors taking outside, and by dividing everything you learn. So this is a problem for you. Try by yourself. I guess actually you have to use quotient rule and power rule together. So this is some application problem. So this is the revenue function. You need to find marginal revenue. So if you are given the revenue function and when they ask to find marginal revenue, you have to take the derivative. So to find the derivative of this one, you have to use quotient rule and power rule. Then it is asking find the marginal revenue when 50 units are sold. So it means you have to find the value of that derivative or marginal revenue when x is equal to 50. Okay, first you can see here it has find the marginal revenue by using quotient rule and power rule together. So it is a big calculation, and after that it has substituted 50 for this given function, and this is the margin revenue when x is at 50. So this is important. It may be helpful to review the formulas needed to find derivatives of previous type of functions. It means for each type of functions you have to create the suitable formula by your own mind, by thinking. Now let's look at few examples. So for this one, you know it's a constant and definitely derivative is 0, no need to discuss. And for this one, this is we have learned about if we are given some x to the power n, how we can find the derivative. So here n is 4, and yes, you can use this formula n xn minus 1, so you can simplify. For this one, this is your c 5 and this is n is 3, so use this formula and find the derivative. For this one, this is a summation of two formula for two given expressions, so find the derivatives of each one separately and then get the summation. This, what is this you have to use the product rule, and for this one you have to use the quotient rule. Sometimes you can use the quotient rule with power rule also. Look at how these expressions become complex little by little. So for this one, how we can work: x minus 1 divided by x plus 1 square. So try to do this one by yourself. So here first you have to use quotient rule, and then you have to use